Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates, Season 2, Episode 201. So, I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back, y'all. So, I will be back posting my reviews. I'm going to try to come to you at least, if not daily, 3 times a week. I'm going to try to cut back on the weekly because those were long videos and it took a lot out of me. But we are back. Season one ended with their 200th episode. The last few episodes of season one were really, really good, and now we're starting off season two with a bang. Um, I have been watching. Well, I've been watching daily, of course, but I've also been watching. They've been doing the like extras where it's like the characters, not the characters, the actors talk about their characters. So I'm going to post another video where I talk about each individual character and how I felt about them for season one. I also saw that on Jordy's TikTok, and uh, I I have to get her TikTok. I'm going to put it in the comments, or I'm going to pin it in the description because she is on Twitter, and I love her. I love her reviews for all things TV shows that she be watching. So I'm going to post her TikTok and her Twitter in the description. I was also on Shade in the City's channel last week for the year in review of Beyond the Gates. Had a lot of fun. Be sure to follow her on her channel. I will post um, her channel in my description as well. But yeah, so the big thing that's been happening on the show. So since I haven't been here, I'm just going to give a quick overview on what the biggest thing that happened, and then we're going to go into episode one of season two. So we found out, sorry, that Anita has triple breast cancer. She told her family. She found out before Christmas, and she wanted to wait until after Christmas to tell her family. So she told her girls, she told Nicole and Dani, and then she let them know that she had the BRCA gene where she would have to, where they need to be tested to check if they had it, because if they had it, they could have passed it on to their girls. So she told her kids, then she told her kids to tell their kids. So Nicole told her children. She called Ted. She wanted to run something by him, and then she told her kids about about her parents. Not her parents, but about Anita. And then Dani went to talk to Bill because she needed him to be there with her when she told the girls about her mom, and then about them having to get tested. Now, these girls, Dani's kids, they went to Anita and Vernon's on New Year's and like walked in because they do like a surprise. Like, this is something that they do every New Year, they say, where they just go and bring balloons for the New Year, and they walked in on Anita and Vernon discussing her cancer. So Anita ended up telling them about her having the cancer, and then about them having to get tested. And then they went to Dani's and like tried to chew her out for not telling her, for her not telling them right away. And it was like, first of all, that's your mom's mom that has the cancer. Y'all need to let her deal with that. Like, y'all didn't even let her sit in it for a good 24 hours before y'all are complaining about her not telling you. She was getting ready to tell you, but because of Dani's character, and again, it showed in this episode. And I want to say this was, I'm not sure if this was 200 or 199, where when they found out, they came to her house and tried to chew her out and was just like, you should have told us. We should have found out from grandma, da da da, all this other stuff. And it was just like, ain't nobody tell y'all behinds to go and eat walk into these people's house without knocking the door. I mean, without knocking on the door, ringing the doorbell, and then on top of that, you walked in because someone else let you in the back door. Y'all didn't even come in through the front door. You decided to eavesdrop on these conversations. You could have announced yourself a long time ago, but y'all didn't. Y'all decided to eavesdrop, and that's how y'all found out. So no, that's not Dani's fault. Again, y'all didn't give her time to sit in it because again, that's her mom. Like, no, I'm not about to come tell you 5 minutes after I found out about my mom when I'm trying to, I have to deal with that. Like, yes, as a grandbabies, y'all have to deal with it too, but that's my mom. I've known her longer. Like, let me make sense of this before I just come out and tell y'all. So, again, they were chewing her out, and Bill had to reprimand him. Like, first of all, no, quit talking to your mama like that. Let her, she had to handle that. She was going to tell y'all, like, quit tripping. And so after like he handled them, they decided to go and hug him first before they hugged her mom. And it's just like, that's not even his mom that it's happening to, it's her mom. So again, clearly Dani had to tell Bill because she knows how her girls are. And I feel like with them growing up, because I feel like they've said it like throughout the season, that they low key didn't respect Dani because Dani was a wild child. Although Dani, she is a very good mom, at least to me, compared to how Nicole treats Kat. Dani loves on her girls. She's there for them. She's like, she's always been there for them. She's always given them grace and giving them lean, just being a good mom. And the fact that I, again, like I said, I feel like they've always like, whatever to mom, because mom was the fair weather mom. And not even that she was always modeling, because she quit modeling when she got married or when she started having kids or whatever, but she was always the fun parent. And I feel like Bill was the strict parent, or Bill was the one that they went to about serious things. So her going to Bill to ask his help to tell the kids, that made sense to me. So again, they find out, Martin and Kat find out. Kat says she's not going to get tested if Nicole gets tested, and if Nicole is what is it? If she tests positive for the BRCA gene, she doesn't want to get tested because she doesn't want to live her life waiting for the other shoe to drop. She just wants to live her life without a care in the world, or without having to worry about that other shoe to drop, which I understand her stance. I understand where she's coming from. Everyone processes things differently. So I do understand her stance. I also feel like, ma'am, you are going to need to get tested, because that is something that you should know. Like, what's that saying? Whatever that saying is, where it's like, when you don't know, I don't even know what the saying is, but I still think like, girl, yeah, you're gonna need to go get tested, because you never know. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. But if Nicole tests negative, then this is all gonna be for moot. But I don't know, because I know that this storyline has been very informative, how they're discussing everything that goes with it and how it affects the Black community. It's been very, very good. This is a soap opera, so they are going to have to get soapy with it. So the only other way that I would think that they would bring it into a soapy way is if Nicole is the one who does test positive for it, Kat is going to get tested, and we're going to find out that maybe Kat doesn't share DNA with Nicole. And I truly hope that is not where they go with this, but that would be one way that I see that they make this soapy. The other way that I see that they can make this soapy is if Ted tells Eva, or he tells Leslie, because of course Ted has a big mouth. He's going to go and tell, and they have to find a way to incorporate Leslie into Anita's story, because they act like they can't leave the Duprees alone. And I mean, they act like Leslie can't leave the Duprees alone. But the only way that I think that they can make this soapy is if when Eva finds out, she decides to go get tested, and then she finds out that she has no DNA with Ted, or her DNA matches with Nicole, and that's when we find out that maybe Leslie stole um, Nicole and Ted's embryo, because again, they've said before that Nicole has gone through IVF to have Kat, and they've had a bunch of complications trying to have Kat. So if Leslie was to have stolen one of the embryos and got implanted, because again, we still never truly got a good DNA test, because we did get that scene where Leslie was on the phone and was just like, I need you to do, whoop for me with the doctor or with the DNA person or whatever. So we don't know. Like, that's another way that I can see them making this soapy. So we are going to go ahead and get into episode. What is this episode? Episode 201. And let me go ahead and pull up my notes, and then we will get into the episode. All right. So, and with this, again, I'm going to be jumping around with my notes. So be fair warned. All right. So we start off the episode with Kat. Well, we didn't start off the episode with Kat. We started off the episode with Ted and Shanice, and he was basically, they were talking about their New Year's Eve kiss, because again, this is the new this is the new couple. They're not a couple yet, but this is where we're going. So they've been getting to know each other. They got stuck in the elevator. They've been getting to know each other, and so they kissed on New Year's Eve, because he decided to spend New Year's at Orphe Jeans, which is where she was. So, they kissed going into the new year. So they start off the episode with them talking about their New Year's Eve kiss, and then he needs her advice about some things. So she tells her about Anita having cancer, and then the BRCA gene situation, and he wants advice on how to talk to Kat, because Kat is talking about how she doesn't want to be tested for it. So she gives him advice and basically tells him to be there for his kids, because, I mean, that's what he should have been doing anyway. But okay. So so we now see Kat at Uptown. I think it's Uptown. Yeah. We see Kat at Uptown, and she is drinking her life away. Well, she's not drinking her life away, but she is taking tequila shots, and she had called Tomas over. So Tomas comes, and he's just like, hey, I'm here. What's up? And she's just like, ooh, have a drink with me. She gets the bartender, and she has a bartender order him a drink. And he was just like, yeah, no, I'm not about to take no drink. And she starts to get snippy with him, like, oh, why are you even here? I'm not going to be drinking alone. If you was going to be acting like this, then you could have just stayed at work, X, Y, and Z. And it was just like, ma'am, he showed up for you. He did show up for you in the middle of a work day. He does have clients that he has to see, so he can't go back to work drunk or with tequila on his breath. So, but she don't like this man. If you don't like him, Kat, let him go. Like, I don't understand why you still with this man. Like, you don't like him, so let him go. That's what I want as a Kat fan. I want her to let him go, because the way she was griping at him initially, it was just like, girl. And I'm not on Tomas' side, because I do not like Tomas, because yeah, I ain't forgot what you did. I did not forget that you slept with her sister. So yeah, and I didn't forget that you talked down on her every chance that you got when it came to Eva. I did not forget that. So yeah, no, I am not on Tomasa's side. But at the same time, I understood where he was coming from because yes, he's at work. So no, I can't be drinking like this. Yeah, no, I can't do that. So she tells him, after he like, like, hey, I'm here. Like, it's not like I just left you standing, but I am here. So, everything okay. So she tells him about, finding out about Anita. And he comforts her, whatever. She does not tell him about the brackaging part and that she is not getting tested. So it's just like, girl, you can't even tell him the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Let him go because you don't trust him. You don't like him. You ain't trying to talk to him. So why are you still with him? Like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't get why you are still with this man. But yeah, um so he takes her home. She curves her daddy because her dad did call her. Ted called her and she curved him. He takes her home and, he settles her down. He made her drink water and she apologized for being snippy and she tells him to go ahead and go back to work. She's good, X, Y, and Z. So, we then see Ted come and Ted comes to the house, I mean, to her place or whatever, and he talks to her and he basically lets her know, I'm here for you. I'm always be here for you. And whatever decisions you make, I understand it. So if you don't want to take the test, I understand it. If you want to take the test, I understand it. I'm going to be here for you regardless, which I'm glad somebody is actually listening to Kat and not telling her you need to do X, Y, and Z because that's how her family has always been. Like they never listen to her. They always tell her what she should do. And it's just like, please, finally, someone's listening to her. So after that, we see Ted. He goes and sees Martin. So this episode was a good episode for Ted because he actually is being a father finally because yeah, that's something that I've been waiting on. I've been waiting on him to be a parent to all of his children and not just Eva. So he finally showed up for them, which is good. And he lets Martin know like, I'm here for you and whatever you need, let me know. We gonna have to let Kat come to the decision to actually take the test. Quit forcing her and let her come to that decision on her own, which I think is the perfect decision. So elsewhere, we see Dani and Bill. They go over to Anita and Vernon's place, and so Bill comes with her to check on Anita, and Dani apologizes to them that they had to tell Chelsea and Kat about what happened. She keeps apologizing to them. That's not what she wanted. And so Vernon pulls Dani. Sorry about that. But Vernon pulls Dani to the side and he basically wants to know why she's there with Bill and make sure that she's leaning on her husband. And she was just like, yeah, I'm leaning on my husband. I'm only here with Bill because I needed his help telling the girls. And once we talked to the girls or whatever, he knew I was coming. So he wanted to, come and see you guys. So Vernon seems okay with it, but none of them are okay with her going to Bill. And again, like I said before, I understand why she went to Bill because again, this does affect her kids and her kids they treat her like trash. So I'm glad that she had somebody in her corner because Andre wasn't going to be able to check them girls the way that Bill checked them. So I'm glad that she did go to Bill. So Bill is talking to Anita and he was just like, I want to give you some advice. And he was just like, when I had my stroke, I didn't want to ask for help. And, I felt like I was young. And Anita was just like with the new young bride and, Anita going to have her foot on Bill's neck, which I am not mad about. But he basically tells her, be selfish, ask for all the help that you need. No one is going to look at you less than just because you're asking for help. take this time and be selfish. And that is some good advice. Like, I really did like this scene with them together. I thought this was great. Um, we he then leaves and he goes to the office, and in the office we did see Tomas come back to the office, and he runs into Haley, and Haley is complaining about nobody being at the office except for this one girl who's doing her billable hours, and she's trying to make partners. She's just like trying to make Tomas feel bad about not being at the office in that moment. And he was just like, well, some things are more important than work, and da 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 and all this other stuff. And it's just like, sir, your work is more important to you. The only reason why you said that is because Bill told you that. So miss me with that. So Bill comes and he sees Tomas leaving his office, and he, like, he was just like, hey Tomas, you needed me? And Tomas was just like, I was just letting you know that I was back. I had to leave for some personal reason. And he was just like, oh yeah, I heard about, and they talk about Anita, and then they talk about the BRCA gene part of it all. And Tomas has to act like he knows, even though Kat didn't tell him, because again, she don't trust that man and she don't want that man, so she needs to let him go. So Bill goes in his office and he sees Haley, and Haley is like, um like being real salty, even though she knows what's going on because she was eavesdropping when Dani came to the house and told him. So she knows what's going on. So it was just like, girl, I understand why you was trying to be like you was salty, but at the same time, chill. And so they say he said something about his daughters, and she was just like, and about, what about the baby that we're trying to have? And he snaps at her, and he was just like, it's not a competition. And it was just like, exactly, girl. Why are you trying to make this like a competition? Like, why are you trying to act like, first of all, why are you trying to bring up a baby that you're not about to have with this man because you are trying to take him out? Like, why are you even like, girl? I know I know you doing a con, but girl, really? And in case you don't know, yes, Haley is pulling a con. And she's trying to take this man out. She is poisoning him because she set this all in motion. She is a con artist, and she has been conning Bill from the beginning because she wants to take him for all his money, because that's what she's been doing before. So so he tells her about what's going on with Anita, and then she's acting all like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have been acting the way I was acting before," and da 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 all this other stuff. And he was just like, "It's okay, babe. I understand." Da, 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 da. And then when he's like, he got his head turned or something like that, she smirks like, and it's just like, girl, this lady is battling cancer. Why are you acting like this? Like, ma'am, what is going on? Like, I still don't like her. Even though she's a con artist and she's made her character, and her, with that revelation, her character has, it's been so much better, but I still don't like her. So the last scene we see, and this was like the best scene. Like, when I tell you, they need to get all the Emmys, like all the Emmys. But Bill, like, once Bill leaves, Anita she wants to go take a nap, and she tells Vernon to come with her. And Vernon was just like, all right, but he was just like, all right, Dani, you know how to see yourself out. Because he's just like, I'm about to take care of my woman. You can go. I don't need to see you out. You can go. My woman wants to go upstairs. You can go. And Dani was just like, oh, I just have, I want to talk to you real quick or whatever. So Anita goes upstairs, and she's just like, when you're done, come meet me. So she basically tells him, like, you're the strong person, you're the strong parent, you be strong for her mommy. But I'm here. You can use my shoulder when you want to cry. When you don't need to be strong, look at me and I got you. Like, I got you. And he breaks down, and he's just like, I can't see myself without Anita. I don't know what I'm going to do. And he cries, and it was just like, this story is so good. This storyline has been so good. And I know it's like a trigger warning to a lot of people. And I am like, I'm sorry for all the people who have this trigger warning, and I do pray for your families. This story has been very informative. Love, love, love. Oh, another thing. Sorry, I forgot to mention them, but I did like their scenes. So sorry. But Martin comes home and Smitty is like, "Oh, I thought you were going to be at this, this meeting or whatever." And he was just like, "No, family is more important." And he tells him about what's going on with Anita and then the brackaging of it all. And Smitty is just like, "I'm here. You be strong for the family, and I'm gonna be strong for you." And I was just like, "See, this." Everyone has been putting in top notch work. It's been so good. So Smitty also mentions how he has a contact with a doctor in Texas at the MD Anderson, and shout out Houston. Whoop, whoop. Because yes, we are leading MD Anderson out here. We leading. So it's like I love that they mentioned that because we are leading in cancer research and everything like that. So the fact that they mentioned that is like really, really good because again, other people who are watching this that wouldn't know, that's something that they can look into. Like again, like I said, this story has been so informative. It has been just chef's kiss. Love it, love it, love it. But yes, so that was the first episode of season 2. So again, all these all these episodes have been so good. It's well, these 3 episodes, because I have watched the 3 episodes, so I'm going to come back with the other 3 episodes, but they have been so good. If I have no words. That's how good it's been. It's been really, really good. But I am sorry that I have been gone for a minute. It's just, I've been trying to take care of some things, and now I'm back. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be doing it better. But if you aren't, or if you haven't, I am on TikTok at Kemi Tuned In, and I have been posting little snippets here and there of episodes. I try to do them daily. Sometimes I miss, sometimes I don't. I talk about different things as well. So go ahead and give me a follow on TikTok, and also make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.